The S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 developers are finally answering all your questions. We have a ton of concerns addressed, like keybinds, as well as when we might see future updates. We'll also talk about some additional things with the engine, as well as those 2.0 A-Life systems, some additional things from the community like crash fixes and mods, as well as a whole bunch more. What's up world, it's Utopia back in with another video. Today we're checking out all things S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2. Okay, so let's just jump right into it. Let's get into some of the dev responses to certain things. We'll talk about the A-Life 2.0 systems as well as the engine. So first up here with the A-Life 2.0 engine system, which is what they're considering a revamp for their AI. We've had a lot of posts geared toward this. What is going on there? A lot of randomness. Like this post here talking about the revamped AI system and them randomly respawning. It's not like the older version where the world feels alive and all around you. As another commenter pointed out here, they sprinted across the map without a single interaction or encountering anybody, or even a gunfight or anything at all. Every NPC they've come across so far has spawned a few feet away from them or in a fixed location. Looks like people are a little bit disappointed with this, and it seems like it's going to be a deal breaker for some people. Now the devs do respond to this regarding that issue, or one of the developers over on Discord said there are several known issues with the A-Life 2.0 system. They're aware of that and they are working on fixes and improvements, and they know that this system is very important to the zone and having an immersive atmosphere, and they're going to do their best to fix that known issue. We've also had an additional Reddit post pointing out several things that have been commented on, or some of the developers that have been talking about, as well as from some community managers, where they mentioned the day one patch actually does know that there are A-Life spawning issues. Malt does also add here that he sees this as the biggest issue for them right now. He's going to do a morning sync and get back with what they know after it is finished, and they'll be back later. Now they haven't updated since then, but we probably will get an update sometime tomorrow. And this is a very core issue to the game right now, something they're definitely going to be looking into. It is unfortunate the game shipped this way with the borked AI. Of course, we've had a message from the GS team themselves, where they do mention that S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 is a massive game and they understand that it's such a game there might be some rough edges. They do address more of this over on the FAQ or questionnaire that they're doing. So currently, if you didn't know, you can head to the Discord and just ask them a question, and they might potentially get back to you. If they do, it will appear on the GSC answers page, which everyone could see and vote on potentially. Like this one here, people wanting the game on GeForce Now. They are going to be updating on that situation very soon here from an answer from Malt. And they do further add on here that this will be addressed within 24 hours. And actually it was addressed sooner than that. S.T.A.L.K.E.R 2 is now available on GeForce Now. However, it is the Steam only version. Some people are waiting for the Xbox Game Pass version. Additionally, they have an update here when we might see a patch to fix performance. Malt again does answer this, saying that they are working on the first hotfix. So they are currently working on a hotfix to get something out sooner than later. Now, of course, as we know, hotfixes are typically much smaller than patches. Sometimes hotfixes are only server-sided, but because this is a single-player game, I do assume there will be some download or at least a patch download. And also, currently, some players are running into issues like the out-of-video memory issue. Like this person, for example, is on an RTX 4090, so the fact that they're running out of memory seems a little bit bonkers. However, there is a support page here where you can head to. I'll link to it down below if you want to check it out. They also do have some workarounds for the issue there. Now, I know this one will come up because I definitely have this concern too, is the lean mechanic and being able to manually bind the lean in the future, as it feels a little bit convoluted. Typically, it's on Q and E for PC players, so the fact that it's on Z and C feels a bit odd, even though they have equipment there, where they do just answer that the keyboard has binds already on Z and C. Hopefully, they add some more keybinds in the future. Now, someone went through the files here and saw that there was a test crypto and a test crypto hard. And apparently GSC did kind of dabble into the NFT stuff, or at least there was interest there. They did get asked that question, but they said they are not adding any crypto or NFT functionality to the game at all. So that is good for those concerned on that one there. We also had this question here, does loot or any loot at all respawn? And they mentioned here that loot does not respawn. So once you do encounter an item, that will be the only placement for it, or at least that will be the only time that you're going to see it at that location. Now, we had a massive question here, and people that are a little bit upset about this. In fact, this did blow up on the subreddit, where they asked here, will there be a revision to the day and night cycle, or is this how they imagine the length? As of right now, they said this is the intended duration. If we look over on the subreddit, this post did actually blow up. And as someone mentioned here, the shorter days are kind of a little bit rough right now. Hopefully the devs do take some feedback in here, or at least address that. There are a lot of comments here saying the days just feel way too short. So that criticism does seem pretty justified, so hopefully they fix that in the future. Although, if you're on PC currently and you really just wanted to change that, and I'll talk more about mods in the future, but there is a mod currently that will fix this. I'll link to it down below, so if you want to change and increase the day length, this does currently both increase the day and the nighttime. Speaking of mods, though, we did have a question here asking for a mod browser like the original trilogy on console. They did say here that they are working to share more details on their official mod support soon, so it looks like they will actually lean into that and provide some official mod support. Since we're on the topic of mods, there is already a ton of mods over on ModDB as well as Nexus Mods. I'll link down below to both websites where you can access a ton of them. There is several fixes here like the upscaler updates if you want to do that. That's for AMD, Nvidia, and Intel, where you can update your DLSS, your FSR, and even XESS. There's several performance mods as well that do help that. And this one I definitely will be using, which is the disable mouse smoothing. I thought I was going crazy with this one as I did enable frame generation for this game, as that's the only way I'm getting it playable. But it looks like not only from frame generation, but mouse smoothing does need to be also turned off, which can only be done from the game user settings.ini file. And for this one, there's actually no download. They actually just teach you how to do it by going to your configuration files. I'll leave a link to that down below if you want to disable mouse smoothing, because I will do that as well. Since we're on the topic of mods, we should also address the concerns with crashing. This game has crashed for me more than any other game I've ever played, which is quite crazy. I crashed over 6 times during the first mission. Now, I do believe this is probably because I'm using an older driver, although it's not that old. In fact, it's just a month or two older of a driver. Usually there's recommended drivers for better performance. So if you are having crashing issues, you should probably try to update your drivers. There's been a ton of discussion on this, people crashing in the Unreal crashes. There's been multiple threads on Reddit as well as even Steam. I'll link down below to a few of them in case anybody does come up with a solution here. There's been a ton of solutions posted, but it doesn't seem to work for everybody. So until I know for sure, I will update you guys on that one. More than likely in my case, and probably for several of you, it's probably just a driver issue. So if you're on a much older driver, you're more than likely going to have to update to a newer driver. At least if you want to play this game with good stability. Again, some people have disabled DLSS, some people have disabled frame gen. There's other people doing different things with NVIDIA panel, enabling debug mode. But it does seem like it's not a solution for everybody, so currently if you are on an older driver, more than likely you will have to update. As I believe that is my issue overall too as well. I believe this also happened to me with Redfall and maybe Starfield, and I had to update my driver and then the crashes stopped. So more than likely if you are on an older driver, unfortunately you will have to update. You might get a tiny bit of performance hit in your other games, as again some of the 560 drivers are better than the 566, at least if you have an NVIDIA GPU, but it does seem like that more than likely will fix my problem as well as people that are on an older driver. We've had a lot of rough spots in this video, but I do want to jump over to some good news, where we did have this post over on the announcements page, and they did post a thank you as they hit over 113,000 players on Steam concurrently. And with the Xbox Game Pass numbers, as well as just Xbox in general, the numbers are probably quite higher. Still really cool to see. We'll have to see what the weekend numbers are. When we do get those new updates and hotfix, I will update you guys on the numbers there. Overall, though, it should about cover for today's video. If you like and subscribe, and until the next one. Deuce!